Well, it has moments for both good and bad. I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Dynamite. It's the New Year's Smash Night 1. But was it a smash or was it a pass? They actually smashed quite a few things out of the park. There were a few things I didn't like, and I'll talk about that when I get to it. But let me know what you guys thought of the show, and especially the ending in the comments, please. Do you think it was good? Do you think it was bad? Do you think it just treaded familiar ground? I'd love to know what you guys have to say. I did like how JR started off with, it's Wednesday, you know what that means, and if that's how they're going to honor Brody Lee's memory going forward, that's a really good way to do it. Jericho joining commentary, and I like Jericho on commentary at first, but now he just sounds like somebody's drunk uncle that's yelling at kids across the street for playing their music too loud. Really, he sounds very fucking out of touch, and he's just yelling a lot, and it doesn't really add anything to it. It's just a lot of noise. We get the Acclaimed and TH2 versus SCU and the Bucks, and I like the Acclaimed. I actually really do. Caster and Bowens are a really good team. I like SCU. TH2 aren't bad athletes. I just don't care about them as a team. And the Bucks, I could take or leave. I did love their match against Paige and Omega at AEW Revolution last year. One of my favorite matches of the year. When the Bucks want to actually add psychology to their matches, they're pretty good at it. But the thing is, their style really isn't for me, and this was the worst of their style where you got no-sell Matt at one point. He just went freaking insane, absolutely just, diving on everybody, just, unlimited stamina, all that. But we got instant dives. We got Jericho yelling, Excalibur saying the name of a move, and JR saying the what, which actually was kind of funny. It was a mess. There were times where it was fun, and I do like that the Acclaimed at least didn't take the pin. That was nice. Best Meltzer ever for 3. Daniels got the pin on, I think it was Evans. It kind of all broke down. I kind of tuned out a little bit, but I know one of TH2 got pinned, which was the right call because they see a lot in the Acclaimed. And then SCU challenges the Bucks for the titles sometime later. And SCU, that decree came down from them that the next time that they lose a match, a straight-up tag team match, they will break up forever. So I think we're probably going to stretch this out to Revolution. I actually think that's a better way to do it. And then blow it off, have Kazarian go one way, have Daniels maybe ease out and become a trainer because he's definitely, one of the best, for a number of years. I don't want to see him continue to hang on when he should hang it up and pass along his knowledge to the various talents. Then we get the Go Big Show Monster Truck just showing up, how very WCW of them when the NWO, I believe it was 6 that, rode in that thing. Yeah, we're really getting a lot of WCW vibes here, and some for good and some for really bad. Some that are bringing back very bad memories. And then here's Moxley. He talks about Omega and Callis beating them with a crowbar, hopefully not the wrestler crowbar. That would be very weird if he swung Devon Storm at them. And he says, you crossed the wrong guy. It was a fired-up promo from Jon Moxley, who's very good at the promos. And then Trent is out for 4 to 5 months. However I feel about the Best Friends, I don't really care for the gimmick. All the best to Trent. I hope he recovers 100%. He's a great athlete. Nobody should be out. It's a tough line of work. It's an athletic line of work. It's a contact sport, despite what some people want to say about wrestling. It is a contact, athletic line of work. And hopefully Trent recovers soon. And can get back to earning money, can get back to doing what he loves to do. Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy are talking. Well, Chuck's talking about, that. And then Miro interrupts. Who told Miro that suit was a good idea? I mean, it looked like he got out of the Snoop collection. And don't worry, Snoop's going to appear later. Then Kip and Penelope. Miro mentions Young Boys, and Chuck's like, well, I was in New Japan, and this kind of stuff. Yeah, we kind of want to forget that Chuck Taylor was in New Japan. And Miro says, well, how about this? How about, if I beat you next week, you become my young boy until the wedding's done. Okay, that's going to be about, like a month? Another few weeks? Okay, it is what it is. He's going to basically become his servant for nearly 30 days. Old school stipulation is what it is. I don't really have any interest in this feud, but at least they're trying to add something to it. Just please, Miro, leave that suit in the closet and never bring it back. So Chuck agrees to that. We get Wardlow versus Hager. Inner circle on stage while Jericho yells. Hager's a good athlete. I just have no interest in watching him wrestle. He's very boring to me. Wardlow has a long way to go, but he isn't that bad. And he can hit an impressive senton. The match was what it was. Even though Hager did get his choke on, which sounded a lot less dirty in my head before I said it, Wardlow does hit the F10, gets the victory 1, 2, 3. So, okay, cool. I was a bit surprised Wardlow won, but that was a nice way to, give him a quality win over a guy that apparently is seen as a big deal, even though Jake Hager doesn't mean shit to me. At least they did. At least they did something. They did something for Wardlow. We then get Private Party getting juice from Snoop. You know, gin and juice. You get it? You know that song that Snoop Dogg did many goddamn years ago? Did Snoop have any goddamn clue where he was at? And I know Snoop's a big wrestling fan. He is. I mean, he did the theme for Sasha Banks. You know, they have a bit of a family relation. And he has appeared on WWE programming before. And he seemed like he actually wanted to be there and do something. But it was also to promote the Go Big show. That's a talent show I don't really care about. And this was a lot of plugging because TNT wants, a lot of the audience to go over to TBS to watch this. I'm not going to watch it, but hey, if it succeeds, I hope that Cody can maybe get some more, Hollywood avenues out of this. Doesn't interest me, but it is what it is. Matt Hardy offers contracts to Private Party. Something about something about them getting 30% of stuff or whatever. They sign him. I'm not a third-party monster, taking a shot at WWE for all the bullshit that WWE is doing with Twitch and Cameo and all that crap. It's really fucking shit how they're doing that. But Vince McMahon's so far back in the fucking weeds that he would, think that, oh, it's not cool for people to earn this shit. It's such good shit that we're taking it away from them, pal. In all honesty, Vince is a goddamn idiot. I'm not saying AEW is perfect, but at least they're allowing people to do their own thing. Matt is not going to last long as a manager before they oust him, and that's pretty much where they're going. And it's going to turn out that he owns them, and they have to beat him in singles matches to earn their freedom. That's probably where we're going to go with this, because Matt's got to be almost done wrestling. And then we get Cage and Darby having a weigh-in for the TNT Championship match next week. Taz and Darby have a war of words. I like Darby. Cage, it's like 270 pounds of muscle, and we know how the muscle got there. He's not the only one, but fucking Christ, that ain't natural. That ain't. And Cage is also very confused when he is out there for a singles match. They have a war of words, and then Darby's like, well, let's get to the fun part. And then Sting appears to do the fucking same thing he's been doing for the last month. Look, I get it. I don't want Sting taking bumps, but they hired him to do what? To just get a few lapsed fans back? I love Sting. He's one of my favorites of all time, but this is the same repetitive shit. I didn't even really care for him appearing the first time. Like, oh, it's Sting. It's cool to hear Tony Schiavone popping. That's it. Taz yells about, crowning a new champ next week. Is what it is. MJF pumps up Hager. He says, I almost dropped you, but you know what? You talked about how good of an MMA fighter I am and this kind of stuff, and that I am a legit athlete. Thank you very much for that. Hager didn't actually say that because he doesn't understand words very well, but he did thank MJF for what he said. And then we get to Marco Stunt cutting a promo. I don't like Marco Stunt as a wrestler. As a person, got nothing against the person. Logan Stunt, apparently a piece of shit that he is. Marco, though, I have nothing against him. He just shouldn't be allowed on a wrestling program. And then he got upset, FTR, because they said, oh, well, we're going to face you and Jungle Boy next week, and we're just going to beat you up. And Marco's like, I'll take your spot. I'll take your spot. You must be this tall to actually do anything useful in wrestling. It was what it was. FTR, just please, when you get Marco in the ring, just fucking destroy him. Don't hurt him. Just destroy him. Because FTR having to sell for Marco Stunt would be stupid. Matt Sydal versus Cody. Snoop coaches Coachy, if you will. And yeah, it's fast start. Cody swings at Sydal outside, hits Serpentico. This is a way to get Serpentico and Luther in a little bit later. Chaos occurs. Not Chaos Project, if you will, but Luther just screams because that's all Luther can fucking do. Reverse suplex by Cody off the ropes. That was a bit brutal. Shooting star countered. And Sydal got his shots in. Sydal's a very good worker. Cody's a very good worker. We get Crossroads times 2 for 3. Luther and Serpentico run in. And then even though Sydal seemed like he was going to go heel before leading up to this match and attack Cody, he helps Cody, beats up Serpentico, and then Snoop does a frog splash that I have not seen that bad since Vicky Guerrero's at WrestleMania 26. I get it. Snoop is an avid wrestling fan, and he's 49 years old and high as fuck on a whole bunch of shit. And no, I wouldn't want him to hurt himself, but goddamn, there was an attempt. I'll just say that. But if WWE does shit like this and I kill him for it, I gotta kill AEW for this. It was a network call, obviously, but did it help anybody? Is anybody going to really care that Snoop did that? I'm not. If you did, that's fine. I just didn't care about it. We then get Abaddon versus Shida, AEW Women's Championship. I have this much to say as far as a short TV match. For this reason. 1, I like Abaddon. She's young, but she's talented. I like the gimmick. Shida, I also like her. She's young. She's also talented. And if they focused on Shida being the AEW Women's Champion more, her reign would mean more. I didn't like that it took them this long to develop a decent story for the championship. I mean, yes, Shida and Nyla Rose at times would have, good good interactions and stuff like that leading up to their various matches. But still, there really wasn't a lot of good story for the women. Abaddon and Shida, they had a good story here. Shida had been bitten by Abaddon. Bit of a weird kink there, but they had a bit of a story here. Was Abaddon in Shida's head? Would she beat her? Abaddon makes her entrance. She is making her entrance. Abaddon attacks her on the stage. Very physical. These two women took it seriously. She's biting Shida's thigh. Moving on. They go under the ring. There's a bite on the neck because that's the same spot where Shida got bit before. Abaddon, wails on her. It was a short TV match, though. What surprised me is how quickly Shida beat her. She beat her with the knee strike, 1, 2, 3. Abaddon didn't look weak, though. It's not like she just beat her flat. So they could always revisit this at some point. It's just Shida's reign would mean so much more if they focused on having, storylines for the women. And they're doing that with Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, I believe, I think that's happening next week, if I recall correctly. I'm not totally sure. I thought that it was supposed to happen, but did they fucking drop it? I mean, they ran by so many graphics, I kind of lost track. But they were building up a story there. So, yes, there's a few stories they're building for the women. I like what they're doing here, and hopefully they revisit this and Abaddon can take the title off of Shida, though I think they're probably going to have Britt Baker do it because the doctor will see you, meow. And then we got Ty Conte cutting a promo about facing Serena Deeb next week. And next week, the Elite in action, Jurassic Express versus FTR. Inner Circle's New Year's resolutions. Hopefully Jericho's is to drink a lot less and maybe be a little bit smarter about, I don't know, where he holds concerts. Maybe do virtual concerts that people pay for. And then the waiting room with Cody. I believe the Dynamite debut of the waiting room. And then we get Pac in a pre-tape promo talking about how great Phoenix is. And Phoenix is great when he isn't bringing himself on the ground. And then we get Omega's over-the-top intro. The Sweeper Girls seeming almost lifelike. And then I don't need to see more Don Callis on my television in 2021 and beyond. And I get it. Him and Omega go way back. They're trying to juice this thing up of Omega being a heel. Omega's a much better heel than he is a face. He is much more unlikable than he is likable as far as an on-screen character. So I give him credit for laying into that. I just don't care about Callis, being on my television screen. He just isn't that, he isn't that interesting to me. If you guys like him, fine. Omega versus Phoenix, AEW World Title, referee Aubrey. Oh boy, Aubrey in a match with Phoenix. If anybody saw that clip floating around from that Defy May 2019 show, I was there. We wanted to rush the ring and absolutely destroy Phoenix for hurting our Aubrey. You never hurt our Aubrey. And I know it's a work, but they got us. But we didn't like seeing that. Flippy shit and Omega trying to heal it up, but at least Callis didn't have the fucking microphone on. At least there was that, because that was not any fucking good at all. They laid the shit in. I'll give them that much credit. It's just, here's the thing. Omega's best matches were with Okada and a few others in New Japan. And yeah, he had that good match. It's a great match with Pac. That Iron Man match and stuff like that. I've just never been Omega's fan. I don't get it. Maybe I never want to get it. Omega is not for me. Omega, whatever it is, he is not for me. He appeals to some people. He just doesn't appeal to me at all. That head-crushing German, that was fucking ridiculous. Phoenix is also not going to be walking by the time he's 35 if he doesn't take it a little bit easy. We get a V-trigger and then the kip up into the super kick. I don't know why they did that, but it is what it is. Very AAA. Poison Rana to Omega. Please stop with the Poison Ranas everywhere. Just stop. Just fucking stop it. Tiger Driver 98, I believe is what it was. Spike Pile Driver. Ouch. V-trigger for 2. One Wing Angel eventually for 3. And then Callis cuts a promo. Really don't need to hear this anymore, but he's like, hey, well, wait, I got something in the back. And Butcher Blade and the Bunny are beating up Pac and Penta, and while Eddie Kingston's also there, Allie taunting them as, they beat them down. That was nice. Moving on. And he's like, oh, let's lay out Phoenix. Let's end Phoenix. And then here's Moxley with a barbed wire bat. And Omega gets, bloody because he gets hit in the gut or the arm and stuff like that. And then the Good Brothers show up. And then Mox gets, hit with the bat a whole lot of times. I knew what they were doing the instant that Omega got hit with the bat once. Once I saw the Good Brothers show up, I go, oh, they're doing this shit again. We're getting 2 Bullet Clubs. We're getting one in Japan that's, watered the fuck down. And we're getting one in AEW. This is where the fucking controversy's gonna come up. I've never seen the appeal of the Bullet Club. I got it back in 2013 and for a while, but especially in New Japan, they changed their leaders more than Roman emperors. I mean, fucking hell. Like, they have their leader, and then they switch to AJ Styles, and then they switch to Omega, and then they switch, and they just kept switching, Switchblade, all that. They just had they had all the people that they had as far as, they just keep switching people out. And I get it, people change allegiances, but just, the Bullet Club, the shelf life, it's done. It's fucking done. It's collecting dust. It's not going to ever be revived to the point that it was. It's just like the NWO 99/2000. It's trying to recapture the magic of something that just only a niche audience is going to care about. I'm not part of that niche audience. If you are, if you like this ending, that's fine. I didn't think it was any good. Varsity Blondes run in. They do all these run-ins and everything, and then here's the Bucks, and oh boy, they join the club. So it is what it is. The band's back together. Great. The time where the Bucks, can go back to their time in Japan where they really weren't all that revered because they're the Bucks and they're an acquired taste. I didn't like this. I didn't really think there was a reason to redo this. I knew they were going to because Omega and the Good Brothers are going to, be in some Impact pay-per-view that I'm not going to watch, but I know that they're trying to juice this thing up. I just don't care. I'm done with the fucking club. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.